1936. This structure behind me, known as Eldorado, Cox's largest bucket dredge, which began mining alluvial gold and tin. It ended its mining in 1954 and it's been standing here ever since. It's one of the largest dredges in the Southern Hemisphere. Welcome to TREV'S Bushland Adventures for another episode here at Eldorado, Cox's bucket dredge. Let's go and check her out. Eldorado Dredge extracted gold and tin from gravels excavated from the pond where the dredge was laid up in 1954. The bridge and the control room was the preserve of the winchmen, who controlled the dredge with a series of levers and switches. The winchmen manned this position day and night through all weathers. In winter, a small wood heater near the control levers was kept alight, but was small comfort when icy winds blew through the bitter winter nights. The Eldorado dredge was powered by electricity supplied via a floating cable from the shore. The substation switchboard along the wall distributed the power to the various electric motors. The dredge was controlled by winches connected via pulley blocks and strong cables to the shore. Just imagine how noisy that machine, the huge structure, the Eldorado gold dredge would have been very, very noisy in its time. So what I'm standing here, these are the buckets, very heavy buckets. They probably weigh a lot of tons each. Imagine how many, there's so many buckets that weighing so many tons each, that scoops up all the mullock, all the clay and whatever, and it gets sifted out, and they search for gold, alluvial gold, and also tin. So Eldorado is also noted for gemstones as well. So if you want to look for gemstones, this is the place. And further down are the diggings, gold diggings, where people go and pan for gold, things like that, and they go and search for little bits of gold. Gold has been found right here in Eldorado, and gemstones. So it's usually known as the floating monster as a nickname. Yes. And it weighs 2,142 tons. That's a lot. That's pretty heavy. Pulling the third most power from the state electricity grid from Melbourne, Geelong. And it's 18 years of operation. 18 years. Must have been very noisy. It produced 70,664 ounces of gold and 1,383 tons of tin concentrate. Gee, it must have been noisy. It must have been a lot of work with this old dredge. And it's been sitting here rusting, decaying since 1954. There was news that it was going to be demolished, it was going to be blown up, but since the Historic Society stepped in and the federal government, they said no, they're going to preserve it. So it's here to be preserved and learn during the young generations today, they'll learn about the gold and the historic history of the area.
Tell me that you're ready to go. Tell me that you're ready to go. I'll be here waiting. I'll be here waiting.
Now right behind me is one of the many shafts that it's a gold mining shaft. You might see numerous of those around the area here in Eldorado, where many years ago, back in the gold rush days, people were fossicking, and there is a shaft there. It's covered really, but they've got the whole place barricaded because it's for safety reasons. So if you walk in that, you might drop down. So this is one of the many shafts. You've seen a lot of these during my videos. When you come here to the Eldorado dredge, you'll find there's numerous of information boards like this. The top tumbler shows the top tumbler, and it tells you all the history of it. So there's other signs around that tells you all about the history. So you can see that. Yeah. Well, that concludes our tour of the Eldorado Cox gold dredge, the gold bucket dredge. And it's a huge machine, it really is. And behind me, at the paddock there, right behind me, are remnants of the machine, like parts. There were machine parts and things like that. They're preserved. So they have a bit of it's a picnic ground, it's a picnic area. I'm just sitting on a picnic table here, and there's lots of walking tracks. You can ride around the Eldorado dredge. So now my next episode will be at Beechworth, visiting ruins of an old hospital been left there for many years ago. So that's the Beechworth Hospital Facade. That'll be my next adventure. I shall see you there.